That's right, everybody. It is a Tuesday night. Time for another Psychos Platters, always powered by coffee each and every time. Ah, yeah, you betcha. Um, Black Rifle um, hunting roast is what we've got. 12:25 for Brandon in the afternoon in the land of Oz. Yes, good to see you. I just thought at the last minute I would do this. Actually, I was debating whether or not I was going to do this tonight or tomorrow, but I don't know what tomorrow's going to look like yet. So that's why we're doing it now. I wanted to let my kid have his sleep. Nobody's in the house except me and wherever the hell Toby Tobeans went. She was chasing a bug, or just about 2 seconds ago. She was on my record perch. Oh, so help me. That's why there's nothing up on there anymore, because she almost knocked everything off. Anyways, I want to thank the almost 8 people that are here. I know it's a little later than normal, I guess, but it's better than nothing, and that's a fact. Now, I don't know about over in. I hope I'm not coming down with anything. Jeez, got the case of the sniffles now all of a sudden. Great idea. I'm bored at work for the next 3 hours. Is Toby doing okay? She's been making nest. She was making nest earlier, but like I said, I was shame on her. I was, because she tried to escape the house last night. I barely caught her too, for that matter. It took a little effort from the fat ass here. Lisa, I'm one of the 8 eating dinner. Well, nothing wrong with that. It's only 7:25 over in your area. That's cool. That's a dining hour. I usually try to eat before 6. It's kind of difficult to do sometimes, but we do what we can. But hopefully, wherever you live, we it kind of got to be a hot box today. It was about 81 degrees, but I'm not going to complain because there wasn't any rain. Made some. Oh, that sounds so. Oven fried chicken sounds tasty. I am going to explain who John D is shortly. And no, he's not a member of the vinyl community, just to let you know. But oh boy, it just doesn't end, does it? Never does. It was kind of hot here. Well, yeah, you live in California. That's why. I don't. Does California ever get cold? I bet you not, unless you're up in the mountains. Anyways, so hotbox it was. No, John D is not my cousin from Italy. No, 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 no. I will explain everything shortly. Yeah, see, northern area and the mountains. That's right. I keep forgetting. Is somebody else on tonight? I can't remember how. I don't think she'd know how Dolan is. She probably is like me and doesn't watch him anymore. And he's got his own little thing over in his little land. I think Mr. Dolan does. No harm, no foul. By the way, hello, friends of the Land of the Misfit Toys fact. There is still Land of the Misfit Toys. That'll never go away. I have no idea. See, I haven't talked to him in a month. Stephen Schnee is like, oh, that's right. It's Ski Lodge, isn't it? Or something like that. But I know he'll probably be off pretty soon, probably in the next, I don't know, 30 to 60 minutes. And that's all good. I like Schnee. He's a good egg. 22 degrees Celsius and partially sunny. Now, let's see. 22 degrees Celsius. Convert that into 9/5. Oh boy, I never get this really good. That would be what? 198 over 5. That would be what? Almost 40 degrees? Did I really screw this up, didn't I? I'm not that good at this kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not subbed either. I kind of, when all the nonsense happened, I unsubbed. Hey, how you doing? I like your new, yeah, PB. That's PB Thal's been out of the country. Uh-oh. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was out of the country, so I guess he's not doing one of his shows. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Yeah, see, Brandon wants to know, and he says good, and I like Ski Lodge, but I'll be honest, I like him. Oh, listen, you're too kind. You're too kind. But I do love me some Ski Lodge. I guess I just kind of have to be in the mood for it, is what I'm saying. That's not a knock or anything. It's just, it's just like, anything else, I got to be in the mood to, but I'll come on in at least for a few minutes. Yeah, New Zealand. I love both. Yeah, see, I fucked that up. 71 points. No wonder why I didn't make it in science. Boiling the water minus the water. That's okay. That is okay. Anywho, I'll plop up the link if anybody cares to come up for a while. 60 to 90-minute show. We'll figure out as we go along. That's how it always works around here. I know I've had some people privately, support this channel, and I appreciate that so very much. If you guys feel up to it, put the good thumbs up, please. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Not that it really matters. It's all a number game at the end of the day. But would you believe we're 2 subs short of 1,250? That's pretty close. And if I remember correctly, we are at 893 shows now. We're almost at 900. We probably will be doing it sometime in May. We'll have the 900th episode of Psycho's Platter. That is a long-ass time. At least over 14 years, I think. Although there are people that do more. Clayton, how you doing? I dig the avatar. Yes, good to be here. Good to be here. Thank you, William. Thank you. Even if you're not William, still thank you anyway. There's your buddy Clayton. Yes, well, there's all, we always have a Clayton in the world, Everybody should have a Clayton in the world. But anyways, where the hell was I going on all of this anyway? I can't quite remember anymore. This is what happens when you get to be a little above middle age. Yes, many Williams. There are so many, and he's not the only one, but there is a lot. That is for sure. So oven fried chicken. That's good. All right. I've got some. I try to do this now so it goes a little easier. I set up videos as we go along in the links to make it the transitions a little bit better. Clayton sounds like he goes, well, maybe. Nothing wrong with that. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, if I remember correctly, you can't go first or second cousin, don't do. Third on, hell yeah. There ain't going to be anything happening. Everybody will have their fingers and toes. So I'm told. Now, unfortunately, I do know a family in Knoll, Missouri. Yeah, I'm not going to mention their name, but the family tree doesn't fork out very far. I said fork out. So it almost sounds like an episode of Ozark, doesn't it? Yeah, remember that show from Netflix? Oh, boy. I'll write that down. You just do that. Oh my God. I needed a good laugh today. I called in today. I did not, my stomach was like really screwed up. Still kind of is a little bit. I'm not sure if I hope I got diverticulitis, ladies. Can you say that, neighbor? Kids, diverticulitis. Once in a while, I get diverticulitis flare-ups, and I wasn't sure if that's exactly what I had today or not. But I don't like calling in from work. I really don't, but I had to. Third cousin's okay. Yeah, see, first and second cousin, not good. Jerry Lee Lewis, shame on you. That's all I'm saying. That sucks, yes. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Oh, boy. I don't know how he... Never mind. I'll lose my Kentucky audience and I'll lose my Kentucky and my Tennessee and some southern Arkansas and Alabama, like I had an audience in those states anyway. Ooh. Did you check to see what's wrong with me? There's a lot wrong with me, Lisa, in case you haven't figured that out over the several years. But seriously, I've started taking the probiotic powder. Okay, so it does not hurt as much now, which this is what happens. If I think I'm going to have another onset of the onset of the diverticulitis, I'll go and do the probiotics, and it just stops it like that. So that's how I know. Robert Perry's band 6x6 will be releasing a new album next year for fans of Saga, Saxon, and any other work that Robert Perry has been involved with. Well, let's see. Mr. Haggerty, Ron Haggerty loves Saxon, so maybe he might want to be in on that one. Saga, I like the old stuff, but I'm not going to lie. I don't know really anything past the third album for Saga. I'd have to go deep into the, Terry Lewis keeps it in the family. Ladies. How about your Branson, Missouri audience? Ooh, the Branson, Missouri audience, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. You know, sometimes I kind of wish that I, just to say that if I knew what Branson, Missouri was like in the 80s and the 90s, yeah, I would have come down here every summer because I would have seen all different kinds of entertainers. Almost everybody had a theater down here, it seemed. Roy Clark had a theater. Bobby Vinton had a theater. Osmonds had a theater. Just almost anybody imaginable for that time frame. What's his name? Shoji, the one that knows how to do the violin. He's still around. There isn't too many of them left still around. Barry Williams lives. Yes, he does, actually. He's got a part-time home in Branson, Missouri, or slightly not too far from it. He says he loves it here. Another one that kind of loves it in the area, Butch Patrick. Eddie Munster lives in Conway, Arkansas. Yeah, he moved from L.A. to Conway. See, still got an A in it. Anyways, so let's start off here. We've got a couple deaths to report. And somehow I'm missing one. The last one, which is John D., we'll get to that one at the end and the last, because I got a couple clips with him. It's kind of more personal, you know. But we all know kind of who died this week. And now remember, I'm only playing this not to make fun of. Yes, that's that. Okay. That's exactly where I'm going on this. And I know I'm not making fun, okay? But this was the only thing I could think of. This is the only thing I could think of to add to, or not a dedication, so to speak, but from 1972, oh boy, David Peel and the Lower East Side, also featuring Mr. Lennon. We're not going to play all this, maybe half.
The kids are still coming from out of town to the village, and they're singing.
Yeah.
There's a nice guy singing the Pope smokes dope, and all the such songs in Washington Square. It was beautiful.
The Pope smokes dope. The dope smokes Pope.
That's right, the dope smokes Pope.
The Pope smokes dope.
There you go, Satan.
Jesus Christ is super hippie, never shut up junk. Popes and Rome get stoned alone, priest and church shit drunk. The Pope smokes dope, I give him the grass. The Pope smokes dope, he likes his fucking ass. The Pope smokes dope, he's a groovy headset. The Pope smokes dope, the Pope smokes dope.
See, there you go, the Pope smokes dope. Anyways, Satan says he's in a better place now. You're in a better place now, Pope. You are. And then, let's see. And then, of course, Richard goes, "Hi, Satan." And so Satan goes, "Richard, how are you, my friend?" And Richard, of course, goes, "I'm doing fab. How are you, sir?" Two fake Jason Drojas accounts again. Jeez. I don't know. I'm not the one that makes the shit. Trust me, I am not. I got better things to do in my life. That's what all the white smoke is. That's exactly it. You just revealed the papal secret. I said papal. Oh boy, do I have a lousy joke that I could say really bad. Something about Vatican Clinic. For the ladies, they got to have a apple smear. I didn't say it was going to be a great joke. Let's think about it. It's got its own zip code, Vatican City does. The Pope ain't with you, Satan, or is he? You don't know. You really don't. Just saying.
You like my deep voice when I do Satan.
I picked up that voice many, many years ago, and I'll use it intermittently for either Satan or Wowzers, Penny. It's Dr. Claw.
What's that? She's got feline leukemia. She's only got 6 months to live. Damn you, Gadget!
Sorry, I laugh at my own shit. Things are great. Things are. I said, damn it! Can I do that again? Can I do that again, please? Take 2. Ow! Shit.
Things are great. Business is booming.
No, I haven't smoked dope. Just thought I'd tell you before you ask. You could say
business is going to hell.
Oh, now you want me to do some Mr. C now, huh? Say it. Oh, man. I'm so depressed. I am. I don't like it. All right. We got our papal humor out of the way there, right? Yeah. We don't know who the next one's going to be. Now they got to do the election process. I am not a Roman Catholicism. I do not study in the Roman Catholicism art. Oh boy, this is going to get sent to the Livestream Hall of Fame for the what the fuck shittiest episode of Psycho Splatters by the time we're done. Sean says, hi Paul, hi Wyoming, Dave, Lisa, Richard, Satan. Excuse me. This is why we love the Platter Show. Fact. Well, I love you guys too. Yes, I do. Even if I am cuckoo. To a Donald Trump. Why did I say Donald Trump? Can I do that again, please? Oh God, don't get me Secret Service. I didn't. It was a slip of the tongue, and I don't mean White Snake. Take 2. Platters is huge. He's very, very huge. Hopefully, by the end of the fiscal year, he will be even huger. And I'm not talking his waistline, although that's getting there too.
Hang in there, Paul. I'm not ready.
Oop, I want an Asian Paul. Well, who knows, things are good.
Hang in there, Paul. It's not your time to come down here yet.
Hi, wizard. I want an Asian Pope. I want an Asian. Yowza, yowza, yowza. I didn't notify anybody in the VC Justice League, so nobody get their feelings butthurt, please. I was just being lazy. Like Lisa admits, she's lazy because she doesn't feel like it. Well, sometimes I do the same thing. Although I've got like 20 to 25 people in the VC Justice League. Hey, Mr. Wizard, help me, Mr. Wizard, help me. Remember that cartoon with the turtle? Mr. Wizard. Oh, God. Anyways. Hi, Apple Pits. Toby, come here. Oh, I didn't mean to hit your head. Animal abuse, cat abuse. Toby, look. Not there. Look. Yes, look into the camera. Meow. All right. Sheesh. I'm telling you. You gonna go make biscuits? I don't know. She might be making biscuits. I am so far behind in the comments now. How the hell did that happen? Melody, brother, I've missed you. Fact, the king of the VC. Fact. Brother Richard James, my dude. Fact. Ist you too, bro. Fact. Hey, champion. I do an impression of Roseanne Barr very well. Is it regular Roseanne Barr or her singing the national anthem, Roseanne Barr? Oh, God. I played that one day, didn't I, on the show? Everybody really just ran for cover. I remember it well. Hey, you sweet. Davey. Cartoons, yes. I'm not the king of cartoons. That was Pee Wee Herman. Hey. Psychoplatters, it's called kneading. Well, I know that, but I like calling it making biscuits because it looks like making biscuits. It's so cute. Called. It's Toby. She's a very good bail. Not really. Yesterday, she was, like I said, she tried to escape the house last night when I opened the door to come back from taking the kid to work. Shame on Toby. Like anything's going to be out at 9 at night. Really? Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. All right. Next. Oh, boy. Roy Thomas Baker. Found that out this afternoon. Dead at the age of 78. Producer of like a crap ton of records. Crap ton, I said. Here's a few names. There's obviously more than this. Free, Nazareth, Queen, Ian Hunter, Starcastle, Journey, and the last album project he did as a producer was for Yes and the Heaven and Earth album in 2014. But I want to play you one of my favorite songs from, and he produced the first 5 albums for this band. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll play some of it, not all of it, but from 1979. This is my favorite song from the Cars. That's right. She's a lot like you, the dangerous type. I dedicate that to all my ex-girlfriends. All right, most of them. There are a couple of them that weren't dangerous, just creepy. It's not like Lavanda's gonna ever watch this damn show anyway. Mm-hmm. Would you mind my 15 people here? I know I don't have so many tonight, and that's okay. It's all a numbers game at the end, but I appreciate the people that are here. Hang on a second. Maybe I don't have it completely in there, but there we go. That's what she said. Anyways, I'm going to go get some coffee again, okay? And then I'll start explaining the title for today. Yes, and just like Satan,
Hit the thumbs button, everyone. This is a command from south of heaven.
Didn't Slayer do something like that, South of Heaven? Ow, oh, ow, shit. Oh. Wow, not only did my people stick around, I gained another half dozen while I was gone. Thank you, people. I just had to get, one of these days I'm going to get a coffee carafe so I don't have to keep making coffee trips, and make less of them anyway. Oh, man. Dangerous Type was one of those great. I know, right? Seriously, I think that I don't want to say that might be the first car song I quite remember, but I'm going to say it's probably the first car song I quite remember. You know, Dave says, "Hi, Sean. Wish you were there, Melody. We could have been rocking out. Fact." Hey, David. Exactly, Richard, baby, bro. Rocking out and smoking up a nice herb of lettuce. That's right. No tomato required, unless it's Duke Tomato and it's All Stars. You can listen to some of that. That'd be fun. Oh yeah, RJ. Oh yeah, Bonesaw. Before I get into what I'm gonna tell you, quick commercial, ladies and gentlemen. Quick commercial. I did drop a video earlier today, just because I felt like it. The new episode of Jukebox from Hell, which Sean saw, and a few other ones too. We went and covered the 1994 Stevie Nicks album Street Angel. I'm going to tell you now, for a lot of Stevie Nicks fans, this went under the radar, all right? Seriously, including for this guy here. And I'm not a mega Stevie Nicks fan, right? But one day I found this true story. One day I found this 75 cents in a battered women's shelters thrift shop store. And it was the only decent CD in the whole pile. Grabbed it, and I'm glad I did. I really am glad I did. Go check that out. Next episode, which is for the scorecards, will be episode 59. I already know what I'm doing for 60. I think you people are going to like it too. But for 59, we went back to a band that we previously explored, but it was in their Wooden Nickel era. This time, though, it's going to be 2006. Styx live with the Cleveland Contemporary Youth Orchestra. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, why are you doing this one? Let me tell you something. This CD, even though mine's a promo, only sold 10,000 copies. Okay? CD, I'm talking, because there was a DVD release. That probably hopefully sold more. 10,000 copies. Why? We will talk about that in the next episode of Jukebox from Hell. Wish Benjamin Orr had said, yeah, no kidding. I liked his voice. He'd sung more songs after the first two Cars records. Rick Ocasek sang more and more as the band progressed, unfortunately. Yeah, you know, I mean, Benjamin should have had at least 1 to 2 tracks every album. Yeah, thank you. Like I said, it was fun to do, actually.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, see, that's the reason why I do these Jukebox from Hells. Now, I know some of you people have asked me, well, Psycho, what the hell causes the criteria for Jukebox from Hell? Either the critics hated it, the fans hate it, or it charted so low or not at all. And why? That's it. That's the criteria. It's got to be one of those three, or maybe hell, all three. I don't know. But yeah, can you believe that Styx only sold 10,000 copies? Satan, do you get many new releases in the underworld? Serious question. Paul and Sean, I have 5 Cars albums and 1 Rick Ocasek album. Let me guess, is it Beatitudes? Beatitudes, I think, was the name of the album. His first solo one, if I remember right. I think he did 2 or 3 of them. Have they released the 96 reunion concert on CD? Yes, actually, it was called Return to Paradise. They put it out in 97 on CMC International, and there was a couple studio tracks thrown in, Dear John being one of them, of course, dedication song to John Panazzo, who, of course, passed away. It was kind of a shame, though, damn it. I was rooting for everybody, you know, the classic lineup, and when John was even too sick to even do the new version of Lady, that's when they got Todd Sucherman in, which he's a great drummer. I like Todd, but I mean, just to have John back for one last track, you know, yep, that's the one, Paul. How is that Rick Ocasek record? Sean's asking, Dave, I'm curious. You got to do maybe. Maybe. I've never found a copy. I'm not kidding here. I don't think I've ever come across a copy of Milli Vanilli, at least not since it came out. It's good, Dave says. Satan goes,
I'm more of a doo-wop guy. Doo-wop.
yes, well, that's fine. That's fine. You know, you are Satan. You can have whatever you want in your jukebox from hell. That's a fact. All right. So basically, I know this is going to sound really stupid. All right. Well, let me go with the recent death first. All right. So this in tribute today, we've already had Papple, right? Roy Thomas Baker, right? My high school friend Doug Fowler. Now, he died in a one-car accident. We really don't know any more details than that. I found out about this after I did the last episode of Psycho's Platters, okay? And before we get any farther, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest Beach Boys fan that I know, you people, I said you people, love him, you know him, you ask for him by name at the counter. I mean, what? It's him. It's Mason. How you doing, sir?
I didn't know that I was that big of a celebrity on here, but okay,
You're a
let's
big,
roll with
you're a
it.
big, yes. People were asking about you for the last couple of weeks. They're going, where's Mason? Well, lo and behold, now here's Mason.
Well, yeah.
Don't sound so enthused.
I acquired I recently acquired something new to my digital library.
Your digital library.
So off and on, I decide, I'm not collecting CDs anymore. Wait, yeah, I still am. Currently, I'm on that train of, I just want everything digitally. And I acquired through a hard drive of mine that I didn't know I still had it on there, but back in the day, somebody had uploaded, because all three of these albums from this artist aren't on streaming services. They've never even been released on CD. They've only been on LP. Paul, I think you know what I'm talking about. The Celebration Trilogy.
I do. You know what? Why did I have a feeling in the back of my skull that's what you were going to bring up?
For a while now, last few years now, I've had the latter two releases, but that soundtrack, the Almost Summer one, I was digging around for that one on old hard drives to see if I still had it somewhere.
Don't forget, Mason. Next to Mason, Daddy Bog is a Beach Boys fan. Says Dave. Mason, the nicest guy in the VC. Fact. Says Richard James.
No, I can be quite naughty.
Fact. Says Apple Pits. I like the Christmas with the Christmas tree. That's nice.
Metal is cool too. I like Def Leppard.
Says Satan down in the underworld.
And you know what? Upon re-listening to them, because it's been a while since I played them last, but
yes,
I gotta say, they should get more recognition. I mean, this is actually, in my opinion, one of the better things Mike Love fronted or was in charge of.
Right.
You got two members of King Harvest in there. Hey, Dancing in the Moonlight, it's a classic, right?
That's right. 70s classic.
And, you know, Almost Summer it's like Surf City in a way. It has all of the classic elements of a Beach Boys song, but it's not the Beach Boys.
So it's in a different way. It's kind of similar yet different than Beach Baby from First Class, which we played on the show when you were up here, which sounded Beach Boys-ish. Beach Boy.
Well, no, Almost Summer literally has. It's part of the Beach Boys on it. You know, Mike Love's involved in it, and I think Brian Wilson actually does provide a backing vocal for that. Rumored that he did. I know he performed it with them on the Dick Clark show. So,
oh wow,
the American Bandstand. He performed it on that.
Yeah,
back in '78. But I gotta say, in retrospective, totally different story. If if they had thrown Almost Summer on MIU, I think that album would be respected a lot better.
And if
But
on
because of
some,
contractual obligations, they weren't able to call themselves the Beach Boys for that thing. So they had to put a new band together. Because Brian Wilson was actually approached to compose a song for the film Almost Summer. But yeah, all three of those were only released on LP back in 78 and 79. Disco Celebration, okay, that's the one. That's the one exception where I'm like, yeah, I can understand why people don't like this band.
The Disco Celebration, huh?
They had a soundtrack that was pretty decent. They had an album that was actually pretty good, and then they had a 5-song disco LP that was just utter garbage.
You know, Mason.
I mean, Paul, have you heard the disco version of California Girls?
No, I don't want to ever.
You really
ever.
don't.
You know what, Mason?
Just imagine everything you hate about the disco version of "Here Comes the Night."
Oh God, I played that before. Oh my. You know, Mason, they still happen to have the first Celebration album over at the Antique Mall. Nobody's bought that damn thing. But
is it the Almost Summer soundtrack or just the one that says Celebration?
Just the one that says Celebration. And
you know, I encourage you to just pick that up and give it a spin or two. I think you'll actually find that one to be pretty decent. I haven't heard anything off of it.
I have not. As an added bonus, released on Pacific Arts, Mike Nesmith's label, so you can connect Beach Boydom to Monkeydom too.
Some things to mention about that album while we're on the subject of it. The opening track, they do a kind of part soft rock, part reggae remake of Getting Hungry from Smiley Smile. And this one's actually way better. Because the original, there's nothing wrong with it. I dig how psychedelic and kind of slow-paced it is. But this one, you know, I think putting a soft rock / reggae vibe on it really kind of works for the song.
I'm trying to pull up something. So there, you know, I've said before that one of my favorite albums, and I'm glad to have it, although I'm looking for a mono copy, is Wild Honey.
Well, that's easy. That's easy, Paul, because any vinyl release of that album prior to 2017 is either true mono or duophonic.
Well, then I have the duophonic, unfortunately. I thought they finally stopped that duophonic nonsense like in 67. They kept going with that nonsense?
Well, Wild Honey was one of the few regular albums from their catalog where it only had a mono mix and a fake stereo until 2017. On the Sunshine Tomorrow release, the album debuted in its first true stereo mix.
Now, I know this is not one of your favorite tracks, probably, but for some reason, I mean, I love the whole album, but I've played this a long time back, but it was just kind of interesting. I thought that they would even attempt to do this.
Oh, I like this song. What are you saying? It's actually pretty faithful to Stevie Wonder's version, you know?
I see the Mr. Sham. Is it the Sham Wow guy is backstage? Oh, Jesus. It doesn't get more fun than that. I'm holding out for the Flex Seal guy.
You ever heard the cool story about where the album artwork came from for this album?
No, actually,
it was so that right there is actually a photograph taken of a stained glass window in Brian Wilson's home at the time.
Oh, wow.
67. Are we actually going to play the whole song and get a copyright strike? Come
Oh
on.
yeah. Oh yeah, this nonsense. I forgot about that. Anyways, that's okay. I have a ShamWow. There's nothing wrong with it, but like I said, Billy was back there, but I'm like, yeah. I'm holding out for the Flex Seal guy. The next thing that'll come up is the Flex Seal guy. That's what's gonna happen, or the spray hair. Uh, uh, Yeah, hey Paul, didn't know you were on. This is Doug here in town. Didn't know you were on. I'm about to crawl into bed. I've got studio early in the morning. I saw what you titled your show. Rest in peace, John D. Yeah, yes, that's the reason why, and I'm going to bring this up very shortly, actually, and play two clips in a little bit here. But you're right, Doug.
The question is,
I
what does John D stand for? I mean, at first I was like, John Denver, but no, he passed away years ago.
No. Okay. So you know what? If it's all right with you, I'm going to pull a segue and I'm going to make myself big for just a second here. So the fact of the matter is another, and I'm sorry, people, but sometimes when you find out somebody's died, and I'm assuming Doug also was very surprised about this too, because John D. Levan was the guy's name. Okay. And he is one of the foundations, one of the founders of the Tulsa Sound. He was able to call as friends Leon Russell and J.J. Cale and many other Oklahoma musicians in the Tulsa and the surrounding areas. He ended up coming out here. I don't know when he moved out to Northwest Arkansas. And me and him, this is an almost 10-year-old photograph. That's John, obviously, on the left, and me, Mr. Mighty Mouse. Oh boy, I do not look good. But the point is,
yeah,
is
you haven't aged a bit, Paul. I mean, your hair's a little darker, but that's about it.
Well, thank you, but needless to say, John was a great guy. He got his start at age 17. Okay, he passed away. This is where I feel stupid, so forgive me. Okay. He passed away in late August of last year, but unfortunately did not know anything about this until yesterday, okay? So this is a belated tribute. Normally I don't do anything like this, but considering I think Doug and I could call John D. a friend, all right? We're going to play his first single very shortly here that he played on. But in 2004, he was also inducted into the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. And also he was in the
Not
Iowa
lucky enough
Hall
to get
of Fame.
inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, but he probably deserves it nevertheless. John Daniel Levan, that's right. There you go. I wasn't sure what the D really stood for. Oystein is a good friend of mine. We were bridge partners just this past week. Oh boy, I don't know who that is. Anyways, yes. So, but I want to play. This is, like I said, we're going back to 1957, a nice slice of rockabilly. Now, he was the guitar player for a dude by the name of Clyde Stacy. And John D. and Clyde Stacy, there used to be rockabilly conventions in the UK, in Germany, stuff like that. They were invited to do this. And so what we're going to play here is his first appearance, 1957, Candlelight Records, Clyde Stacy
right
and the
time that
Nightcaps.
Elvis was getting his start, you know.
Doing Hoi Hoi. Yeah, Hoi Hoi. That's right. Got me some Hoi Hoi. Now, like I said, 1957, you know, so he was active all those years up until maybe about a year or two ago. He passed away in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. So that's kind of sad about that part. I'm going to play one more clip in a second here, though. This one from 1982. Tennessee, Kentucky would have very strange programming, okay, even back in the days of early cable. So you're going to see that this is this is going to smack of all kinds of things here. It says, better than the Beach Boys, Lisa says. You rang, groovy Gidget. Oh, God. I'm dying. I needed that laugh, especially today. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan.
Could we please get a Brian Douglas Wilson in here to, make it even?
If I recall, Clyde Stacy had one Billboard Hot 100 hit, "So Young," and that's correct, and that's the flip of Hoy Hoy. Is "So Young." Michael, your boy is on panel. Yes, and thanks. And hey, there's my little moon doggy pal. Anyways, you
Fuck
two,
you, Lisa.
you two. What's wrong with moon doggy? There's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, I mean, oh boy. Anyways, Hoy Hoy Dave is the flip side of So Young. That's right. So, where's Brian Wilson, Mike? I don't even know if he would know where Brian is. The Vile Grotto Cool Doug. And
I don't know.
so
He's probably hanging out in his sandbox or in his tent,
maybe
Arabian tent. Smoking hash in there. Probably,
does he still do that stuff?
probably having a Zoom call meeting with his with his live band in an empty swimming pool. Lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did, Bare Naked Ladies, 1992. It's a great song.
Brian, yes, I've heard that one actually. Brian Wilson doesn't know where he's just kidding. He says, just kidding. He took Stamos to Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, but here's the thing, though. If he went to Chuck E. Cheese, I mean, what is he going to want? Greek yogurt topping? Ugh, gross on a pizza. No, he could dip it in the Greek. It's still disgusting. I give up. Now I'm picturing John Stamos at a Chuck E. Cheese, of course, with the rest of the Full House gang. Oh boy, whatever. Anyways, Chuck E. Cheese, why? That's a good question. I guess where a kid could be a kid. I don't know. I'd rather go to Showbiz. They ain't around anymore. With the animatronic band, happy birthday, boy or girl, boy or girl. Anyways, one last little John D here. Okay, from 1982, talking cable. We're talking cable. There was a show called Billy Parker, and boy, you can't get really any southern than this. This was him and his wife at the time, Chris, who, of course, that's not who his wife would end up being later on. But just enjoy this 4.5 minutes of goofiness. But 1982, Billy Parker show.
Billy Parker here for James Country Style Coffee.
That's right.
You have to believe in a product company. And I can honestly say, James is great.
Yes.
The James boys use choice cut support, then blend in their secret seasoning.
The yogurt thingy.
You'll be a believer too. It's the lean one.
Oh no, here we go with this.
James Country Style Sausage.
There you go. Go get some of that.
Talent of John D. LeVan and his beautiful wife, Chris.
Have some slow honky tonk here, people. Can't say I don't play all kinds of things. Go get your beer and cry in it, people. Oh, you bet it does. I bet he does, too. But can he bring those carnival mirrors? I'll have to watch this on the flippity flop. Understood. Have a good night, Doug. Boy, he looks so young back then. You betcha, or any other brand for that matter, Sean. Jimmy Dean can't corner the market on all of it. See, you never thought you'd hear about Beach Boys and Honky Tonk Country all in one show.
Well, I mean, I guess you can build the connections on their second album, Surfing USA. They do cover the instrumental track Honky Tonk.
Oh, see, there you go. Wait a minute, wasn't that Bill Doggett?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that's Buddy Holly, Lisa. I know where you were getting at.
And every road we took, God knows that's so.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
For the truth that the clouds proving now won't be the land.
Hey, Dwayne, how's it going? Mm. Oh, yeah. You betcha. Mm. We're almost done with this one, kids.
Well, we're almost done with the show.
No. We're almost done with the clip here.
Because you haven't even been on an hour yet. 58 minutes.
I know. Jimmy Dean and Bob Evans in a grudge match would have been something, you betcha, in a wrestling ring. In their own sausage. Gross. Good. Yes. You always gotta end with
Johnny the Man and Chris, a beautiful job on Storms Never Last. Appreciate you so much.
Yep. Like I said, my buddy, gone at the age of 84. I'm telling you, I don't know. They're all going, Mason. They're all going. Jimmy Dean sausage gives me heart issues, but it's so good. You betcha. Wasn't Glenn Campbell briefly a member of the Beach Boys?
Okay. The story goes that when
You go
Brian
ahead. I'm going to get
had
more
his-
coffee. You tell him.
Yeah. The story goes that when Brian Wilson had his nervous breakdown in December '64, he decided he was done touring. That he could focus more on writing and producing songs for the group while at home. So to fill in, they got Glenn Campbell from the Wrecking Crew to perform live with them. Did that for several months. He decided, I don't think I'm going to keep doing this. So then they got Bruce Johnston to replace him, and he's been in the band ever since, off and on ever since. So yeah, there's the basic story.
hearing dead air. as the program director would say, I'm hearing dead air. Uh-oh. So Mike Love says you left out the one part, Moon Nugget. Whatever that one part is.
I don't think I left anything out. Glenn Campbell was in the Beach Boys for a little bit. He decided he didn't want it wasn't his thing.
Oh,
Bruce
jeez.
Springsteen replaced him, and off and on he's been in the band.
All right. You know what? Okay. You know what? I don't even care anymore. No, not you, Mason. But you people, but you're the ones that have been asking for him. Okay, you're the ones that have been asking for him. There. It's been a
Hi,
couple
guys.
months. It's been a
It has
couple
been.
months.
I just figured I would just see how you doing. Say hello.
I'm
I missed
here.
you, man.
Well, we missed you too, Mello.
Really missed
Yeah.
you, Mason. Missed you, Paul. Missed the chat. You know.
Glenn went out and got a tattoo of a butterfly with the name Audrey on his lower back. Oh boy, I don't know why that was real funny to me, but it was. Moon Nugget. I like Glenn Campbell a lot. Well, yeah, me too. Sunflower
Glenn
written by
Campbell.
Neil Diamond and
Paul?
Southern Nights.
Really.
Yes.
Can I pitch you an album to listen to that is not even Beach Boys related at all?
Of course.
Now this is from the early 70s from a band that only released 2 LPs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very like information about them on the internet is very obscure. But they're completely unrelated to the Beach Boys, but they have a little bit of an influence, whether or not they actually were influenced by the band, but it's the work of 4 guys, and they're like very like dream pop and have
guy?
harmonies and stuff like that. Something that was going on in the early 70s, right? Okay, so they're from what I could gather, they're from Long Island, right? Band called Barnaby Bye. Look them up.
Yes, I've heard of the name. I have not heard the music. So
Yeah, their whole debut album's on YouTube. They've got some pretty good stuff. Again, what steals the show is those smooth harmonies.
Hey guys.
Davey.
Yay,
Hi, Davey.
Good
Not
to see you,
much.
Davey.
My brother Dave.
Jason, go ahead.
Brother D.
Hey,
Question. Imagine if Glenn Campbell had stayed in the Beach Boys and Rhinestone Cowboy had become a major hit for the band. Could
That
happen
could
in a
work.
musical parallel universe.
That's a great song, Rhinestone Cowboy. I play it all the time. I love that song.
I could see it be like, it's Glenn's turn on the mic now. And then everybody goes into their little version of Rhinestone Cowboy. And Southern Nights. You left out the part where Charles Mason ran off with Dennis.
Yeah, right.
Not to be confused with James Mason, that actor. Oh my God. Mello is back. We're good. We're trying
guys?
this. Mello
What's
is
up,
back,
Dark?
guys. Man.
What's up, Dark Wizard?
what's up,
Howdy.
man?
One of us good peoples.
Glenn Campbell's last hit was "She's Gone, Gone,
that
Gone"
one.
with Lefty Lefty
I've heard that one.
Frizzell.
I've heard that one.
Yeah,
She's
that's a
gone,
good one.
gone.
Greta Van Fleet.
I
I think she was guessing.
I love the song Glenn does for "Any Which Way You Can," the Clint Eastwood movie. He even has a scene in the movie and everything where he does it live.
I didn't
It
know
was a
that he
sequel.
did that.
Which Way You Can. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, if you want to, you might even get away with playing. I don't know, but it's a great song. It's great.
Glenn was only in the band for a short time. Brian's dad came at him with a pool cue. Apparently, he didn't like having his wife's name as a tramp stamp. That's. I don't even know who you are, but you're making me crack up a lot today. So I'll allow it. But now I'm disturbed because I'm like, first of all, I do not want to see a tramp stamp on the late Glenn Campbell, and that would be so horrendous.
With his
But,
Alzheimer's, I don't think it would be that good.
well, he's gone now. Don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Here he comes with the Glenn Campbell album. Says he is. Shit! See, I thought you had something.
My collection of
I got that. I got that.
Vargas.
I love that.
Drawn by Vargas.
Yes.
Do you know who this is modeled after?
No.
Well, this
I
is from
did get a story.
Wikipedia said, do you remember the second I Love Lucy show from the early 60s?
Yes.
The teenage daughter
Huh.
is named
Huh.
Alberto Vargas modeled this after the blonde
Right.
second I Love Lucy show.
Huh.
That's right.
It's one of the most famous covers, man.
Alberto
Yeah, no
Vargas,
kidding.
yeah.
Yeah,
It really
Vargas,
is.
Vargas was something else.
Oh,
I know he did more than just that cover, but that's the only one
Yeah.
I've seen.
This is the best
Yep.
album.
Oh yeah, I love all the Cars stuff. The only one I don't have and I haven't listened to is Blue Tip, the reunion.
This
I
is
don't have that
underrated.
one.
This is underrated album. Panorama.
Yes.
It's a good album. It's not as good as the other two, but it is good.
And this is their second. This is a good one. All the
I love that record. I
Yeah.
love Shake It Up. Oh,
I think the quality starts going down around Heartbreak City.
This is,
Okay. And then Door to Door is kind
I
of
love that record too. Hello
Well,
Again. Oh, it's
I
fantastic.
don't have the Door to Door album yet, but I know someone who has it around here. Yeah.
Let me
You don't
see.
have the first album?
I don't have Door to Door.
What about the first album? I didn't see you put
yeah,
that,
that
one
one.
up.
No,
He
pay
started-
attention.
All right, yeah, no, I seen you start with Candio though.
Oh yeah, I did that wrong. Yeah,
You were doing them in order. I was like, wait a minute.
it was actually Rick Ocasek.
Oh, we're showing some Cars stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so here
Paul
after you
McCartney.
show Beatitudes, I've got something else. So this one was the last Car single in '87 till when they would get together in 2011 for Blue Tip, minus of course Benjamin Orr. Sad, but some of this album I think they were like phoning it in, but this was the single off of the last one though. Strap Me In.
That's from the Door to Door album. I don't know. I only know 2 songs from the Door to Door album.
Yeah, I don't know this album.
It has a "You Are the Girl." You Are the Girls.
Oh,
on that
You
one,
Are the
too.
Girl. Yeah,
That's
You
right.
Are the Girl. Right.
I heard that Gary. Oh, I love Conquistador.
Yeah, I heard country.
I did not know that. After many years, the butterfly turned into a caterpillar, a kind of reverse metamorphosis. After the Paramounts broke up, Gary Brooker wanted to do something else. He managed to hook up with Keith Reed and wanted to write songs for other people. Yes, definitely good Cars albums. I just saw that, Dwayne. What a good episode. I even learned that jazz xylophonist I never heard of, so I got that one. Oh yeah, the women on the Roxy Music covers. Oh, you betcha, they're all hot. 2011, Glenn Campbell recorded a song, "Ghost on the Canvas," written for him by Paul Westerberg of The Replacements.
Wow.
I'm going to have to
That's
listen to
wild.
that.
Yeah, I might have it too.
You know, I've come across that album, but I have yet to buy it. And I've seen it in the cheap boxes. Strap me in.
You know, the Cars were always known for their production.
Anyways,
Their
there's your
production.
taste.
Their production was above, reproach. I mean, it was really literally Rick Ocasek, who became a world-class producer himself, produced Weezer, produced countless bands.
Oh, yeah,
But
Weezer, yeah.
he learned the bulk of his ability to produce from Roy Thomas Baker, having the greatest producer probably of all of rock in my mind. He's one of the greatest. Right next to George Martin, and Jeff Lynne. I mean,
I would love to play. Okay, if you've ever seen the video for Cheap Trick, She's Tight.
yeah.
He's briefly in that with lipstick and everything. I'm like, it made me laugh because I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then I find
I
out
don't know
later
that
it was,
video. I'll have to look it up.
yeah, She's Tight. I love that
You ever
song.
hear speaking of Cheap Trick, you ever hear the version of "I'm Losing You" by John Lennon that features
Yes.
Oh,
Cheap
yeah,
Trick
that's great.
on it?
That should have been on the album, and you can
It should
blame
have been.
Yoko for why that wasn't put on the
Yeah, I
album.
just thought it was too heavy.
They're just using you, John, to
raw.
get better. I'm like, hey,
Well, I
Jay,
mean, "I'm Losing
Jackass
You" was
Yoko.
on Double Fantasy, but that version I think adds a little more, pulse to the song you know.
Oh,
having a
definitely.
cheap
And
trick.
thank God
Oh,
we got
wow.
to at least hear that version, you know? It gets been
Marty-
stuck in the vault, but they allowed it to come out.
Yeah, and I mean, I tell you, I love that version. Marty Robbins is in my music collection. See, that's cool. I actually wouldn't mind finding. He actually started out in rockabilly a little bit,
Yeah.
like
Right.
Devil Woman, that whole album, and then like I think the next record after that was rockabilly. Then he starts shifting. One of my sisters saw him live. That would have been cool. Shortly before he passed away. Nick Lowe talked about Marty Robbins too. I have to apologize. I didn't get to watch all of it. I just remember seeing. He had in his bag the Viagra Boys. I'm going, what the holy hell is this? I couldn't deal with that.
Paul,
Yeah,
Marty Robbins did a cover of "That's All Right, Mama" in '55.
See, there you go. Yeah, that's all right, Mama.
Elvis.
Did you guys, you were talking about Beach Boys before. Did you guys ever see there was a video of, it was in, I think, 1977, and or maybe 1980. Carl Wilson was at a wedding, and the wedding band that was there saw that Carl Wilson was there, and they begged Carl Wilson to come up and do a song with them, and they asked him to do God Only Knows. So literally, Carl Wilson's in like a tuxedo on video with this wedding band, and they're kind of backed out. You can really hear Carl, really incredible, doing like almost like an unplugged version of like God Only Knows on. It's on YouTube. If you ever seen it, Mason, you should see it. You would
was
love
amazing
it.
about doing stuff like that. Like
Oh my God!
like Carl was really dedicated. I think more so than anybody else in the Beach Boys. He was really dedicated
His
to
voice,
staying relevant and to staying
Right.
current and to keep doing all of these. Because in the
I'll
80s,
tell you what, man.
in
if
the
you see this,
80s, even though the Beach Boys weren't releasing albums every year of the 80s, and he only had 2 solo albums in the 80s, his voice was still all over mainstream
oh my
radio,
God!
whether you notice it or not.
If you listen to this performance, go look it up. Just God Only Knows Carl Wilson. That's all you got to type in, and it'll come up. And you'll hear a performance of a voice that's like magical, and like right off the cuff too. No warming up, no nothing. He literally was in the middle of dinner, and it's really like they put pressure on him. Oh, we're gonna bring Carl Wilson up like this, and they're all looking at him, and like he's like, all right, and he goes and he just destroys the place, like literally puts everyone in tears.
Yeah.
It was one of the most incredible, like off the cuff performances you'll ever see.
I
So
saw,
good.
you know, a couple examples of what
I'm all about me.
talking about.
Michael Lowe.
When David Lee Roth did his cover of California Girls, of all Beach Boys, who can you hear in the backing vocals? Carl Wilson. You know?
Yeah.
And I felt stupid speaking of Carl Wilson, okay? Now, I thought all these years David Lee Roth's version of California Girls had Mike Love on it. I'm so wrong. It's Carl Wilson is singing
Yeah,
on background
Carl
on
Wilson.
that. And I'm
How
like,
about that?
yeah, I thought that
I
was
remember the
kind of
song.
damn cool.
Definitely.
I mean, it's,
and he gives
it's
it
not one of my favorite versions, but I'm still
But-
glad at least he's on it.
Carl Wilson gives it the more authentic sound because his voice is in the backgrounds of all the Beach Boy songs. So if you want a real background Beach Boy sound, you get the guy who did the real Beach Boys, voice.
I mean,
That's amazing.
Not only, but not only that, but I can come up with probably a whole bunch of other stuff that his voice was lent to during the 80s. But one of the more well-known ones was that he got together sometime during the 80s and composed material with
I can see that.
Robert Lamb of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Jerry Beckley of America.
I did not know.
And
Oh, yeah.
that's some
Now
pretty
they-
good stuff. That Beckley Lamb Wilson stuff is.
Yeah, that's right.
That should have gelled more. I'm telling you, it's
It really
too bad
should've.
Carl died when he did, because I think that would have been a force to be reckoned with. Those three.
No doubt. That could have been like
that could have potentially
level.
been a really great super group right there.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They would have been on that level.
You ever heard on the Harry Nilsson tribute album from the mid '90s? They did
That song.
Beckley Lamb Wilson. They came out and did Without Her. Really good stuff right there.
And also in the 80s, they did that.
Their stuff should have been big hits at that time.
Wasn't
They also
that on
did
that Nilsson tribute album?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a strange album. Like I said, I played the Ringo Stevie duet, which was just horrible, but the Without Her is really good.
They did that thing in the '80s where it was East meets West. Do you remember that?
Oh, with the
It's
Four
where-
Seasons, yeah.
Yeah, the Four Seasons and the
That-
Beach Boys together.
I-
It was
A couple of years back, I had somebody on a live stream who was a hardcore Four Seasons fan, and he kept swearing up and down that was the last song Dennis Wilson ever played on. I'm like, I really okay, maybe it was, but if that were the case, then the song would have had to have been recorded sometime in '83 before his death.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Wikipedia or something, there is verification if it is or isn't. You know, it just take the time to really look it up.
And that's actually, that's an underrated gem for both the Beach Boys and Four Seasons because
Yeah, I like the song. I really do. I think it's pretty good. It's a little.
especially one of my
compared to
favorite
their-
bits of the song is when, yes, I did check my sources and I did
Yeah.
listen closely with my ears. It is, I can confirm it 95% certain is.
Did you ever
Brian
see the
Wilson's
video they
voice.
made together with it? Did you ever see the video for it?
I don't think I have, but what I'm saying
Oh, there's
is
a video
at
for
the
it.
very
Yeah.
at the very end of the song, that is Brian Wilson coming in there with that
Yeah.
vocal bit there, and I like that. He was actually included
Oh.
in that.
Speaking of Beach Boys, my friend does clean outs in a house, and he said there was a stack of records there. So he just brought them
We'll
to
get
my
your
house.
question in a minute, Brandon.
He just brought them right to my house.
Yeah.
He said, "Do you want these?" I said, "Sure." So thinking of what's right on top,
Oh yeah, now we're
Sure.
talking.
Sure.
you know,
That
for
is a
free. I mean,
fantastic
this is
live
a free
album.
record, you know. So I'll be putting these on eBay. Not all of them are good ones, but there are some good ones.
$1 million
$1
polkas.
Okay, this one for poetry and plastic. You know, maybe it's something. You know, maybe it's something. Who knows? Then I got a couple of weird ones in there too. This one's
Pardon my
Pardon
quiz
my quiz.
blooper.
Kermit Schaefer.
Yeah.
I've heard of Kermit Schaefer. He did a bunch
Yes.
yeah. Here's another one. The person who had it must have been a Kermit Schaefer
of. Oh,
fan.
there's another Kermit
Yeah.
Schaefer one.
Pardon my
So there's
sports
that one.
bloopers.
Then this one,
T-Bones.
Ah,
it's a car record drag. You know, all like car songs. Little Deuce
Yeah, I
Coupe
see
and-
Little Deuce Coupe is on there as a shutdown.
Yeah.
car records could go for decent money.
It's got.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's taped around the whole thing. So
I was afraid of that. I wasn't sure I was going to ask. Wait a minute. What the heck is? Wait a minute. Is that wait a second. Is that a remake from the Buddha Records one? Because
I'm not sure.
Does it say
Here,
53
we'll
and
look at it.
73?
I mean, it has these cool like printed sleeves, and it's got even like here's a. I'm trying to balance it.
What's the record company that's on, Mello? If it's not
It's cool because like they got all this, you know, cool like nostalgia pictures from, you know, American Bandstand. And here's the label right there.
That's from Columbia.
Okay, so a Columbia special product.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
All right. So we got
you know
that.
what, Dave? Maybe because Buddha Records, I think, died by like 75, 76, so that might explain it.
There you go.
Oh, that!
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
Ah,
That is very
yeah.
nice
Again,
right
split
there.
around the whole thing. There's tape around all the edges, but that's what
Now,
that
flip
is.
back over to the front cover. I was enjoying that.
Gold record hit.
Old 50s.
It says like back the nights.
It's
and
not
stuff.
an Antioch Jack, that's for sure. I mean, what?
Yeah, right.
Bongos, flute, guitars.
Yeah, so I don't know what. I didn't listen to any of these.
Not quite.
This one's pretty cool.
David
Ooh,
Bowie.
Oh, there you
Stardust.
go.
Ziggy
Yeah, this
Stardust,
is again for
nice.
free. So imagine someone just, hey, you want these records? They were left behind. Yeah, I'll take them.
Oh, Elvin Bishop.
Getting a free David Bowie Ziggy Stardust. That
Yeah,
nothing to complain about on that.
young man.
There's a
Dun,
cruise
dun,
in.
dun, dun, dun,
Cruising.
dun. Young man. I never heard of this one.
Smokey's family.
Oh, it's Smokey Robinson. It's his whole family.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Here we go. That's a controversial one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This one's pretty cool.
Oh shit, that's probably hard to find. When
Oh, that's
Siobhan,
nice.
that's kind of hard
That's-
to find album.
That's probably
you
the
know.
most
That
successful
is.
song
It's
from the
fun.
Chiffins. He's so
Yeah,
fine.
but he's right though. That is kind of a half tough album to find.
Oh, Lori Records. Yep, that's
That's an
probably
original.
Yeah.
It's in pretty good shape too. I mean, there's some like fingerprints and stuff, but again, free. What you know? I mean, hell.
Well, the
Oh, there you
Venture
go,
is
Ventures.
cool. Yeah.
So I'll be putting these on 16
cool,
millimeter
Dwayne.
Kingdom. 16 millimeter Kingdom.
Orland's albums are kind of hard
Oh.
to find too. Orland.
It's too bad with the tape on there, but yeah,
I know.
Dave's right.
Yeah, Mo, that one's worth some money. Orland's album. Cameo.
Yeah.
record.
This one's pretty cool too. Again, tape on all these edges, man.
Oh, Dwayne Eddy. Yeah, cool. I like Dwayne
And
Eddy's music.
Dwayne doesn't get enough love.
Jamie Records. Yeah.
And then Mr. Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah.
No, that's one Tommy Sands album I don't have yet. Shoot.
Oh, really? Ah, there you go, Davey. Capital.
Oh, it's on
There's some
Capitol.
stuff,
Nice.
but
Yeah,
it's
Capitol.
pretty clean record. I mean, considering. And then last but not least,
Oh, Chubby Checker. Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of Chubby,
not a bad haul, man. Look at that.
Right.
He's like, here, do you
Look at
want
that.
these?
I'll have
And he
to
said
say-
there's more. He said
I think-
there's more. I said, bring them over.
Yay.
Real quick, speaking of Chubby Checker, I think as old as he's got to be by now, I think he's still kicking. Last I heard.
He is, and
Did
get
he
this.
really?
So on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations, he is on the top. He is in 8th place.
Wow.
So he could get in. He could get in. I'm rooting for him.
Paul, we're losing you.
Yeah, you were hearing like just wah 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 wah. It sounded like Charlie Brown's
Charlie's up there,
teacher.
too.
Charlie Brown's teacher.
It reminds me of the old school Psycho Splatters. If you guys
Yeah,
remember
right.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's frozen. You look like you're making smoke rings.
Oh well.
Thank you, one of us. I appreciate it, my brother.
Yeah.
But no, while we're waiting on him to get his stuff fixed, I think I'll take this time to do a little more self promotion for this album. I was trying to get Paul earlier. He did say that he has heard of this band, but I came across this actually nearly a year ago. Heard it being played over on another stream. Found it very interesting. So I came to find out that there's not much to know about this band at all across the web, but they have 2 albums. They're from Long Island. And they released these 2 albums in the early 70s. And they're very interesting because it's like a marriage of soft rock
Really?
with a little bit of dream pop.
Right.
Yeah.
But they have very smooth harmonies. So I was listening to this, I'm like, wow. They probably weren't, but I can definitely see a bit of a Beach Boys influence here.
Mason, do you know of Day Lim's version of Smile that he put together?
Oh, that's the only version I will listen to now.
Is that
If I
incredible?
want to listen to what I could imagine is the most complete,
right.
as if the album was
I
released. in
can't applaud it
67.
enough. It is so fantastic what he did. And he's the only
There
one.
are some,
He
there are
had-
some things that I don't care about it though. Like I don't
Right.
like how he changed the harmonies on
I got you.
Roll Plymouth Rock,
Right.
where
Right.
where he made it sound more of like a childlike, goofy vocal rather than just
Yeah.
sticking to what was on the Brian Wilson Presents Smile.
I'll
But-
tell you what. Day Lives is
The
incredible.
best thing, I think, the best thing that he did for that was his treatment of Child as Father of the Man.
Oh my God, that's a masterpiece.
What-
It's incredible. I think it's better than the original. I really do.
And the fact of
And
the
I'll-
matter is, it's all AI.
And it's but you know what? It's amazing. He left
Actually,
that
it's
up.
probably not all AI. He's probably
No,
actually
he-
taking
look,
some actual. It's
AI
probably-
gets a bad rap in the sense people think you're generating AI like you're just going to press a button. No, AI gives you just
here's
an
the
extra
difference.
tool.
Hey,
that
Limbs
he
doesn't
has
just
to
press a button
manipulate.
and have the computer do all the work.
He still has
records
to
his
edit.
vocals. He
Yeah.
records his vocals, and then he runs that through a mod.
Right. He still has to manipulate with editing, laying the vocals down, laying the things, putting things in place. That's work in itself. That's an orchestrator. So he's orchestrating and being the one that's, kind of the arranger, really. And that's a talent in and of itself. There's a guy named Bill McClintock. He's a channel on YouTube. He's the greatest mashup guy. He could put together Michael Jackson and Van Halen together, like, incredibly in the same song. And it would be like, you would think it was written that way. He does like a lot of heavy metal. He does like Slayer and Kool and the Gang. You know what I mean? Like, really incredible combination. You would not think you could hear these songs together. But this person is the king of it. The king. I'll tell you.
I really like, when it comes to AI, I think Daylims is one of the best uploaders.
Well, Daylims had that version of Grow Old With Me, John Lennon's demo, and he actually put Paul McCartney's vocal in the middle section. Sounds like Paul from Band on the Run.
He put
right, but it legitimately sounds like Paul from Band on the Run. Like, it's a very young, almost maybe I'm amazed, Paul. Like, incredible Paul vocals.
I have no problem listening to AI as long as it's
if you Google
AI.
it.
But here's the thing.
Right.
Here's the thing. I think where you get into trouble is when you start automatically, like, pretending in your mind that this is the authentic, for example, the authentic Beach Boys smile. This did come out this way in 67.
So help me.
You have to just remember that this is an AI creation. It's something interesting to listen to, but it is not the real deal.
Right.
But it's probably pretty close to what could have come out in 67. Anyway, moving on from Smile, I want to do a little more promotion for this. This album is very interesting, in my opinion. Very smooth harmonies on top of this very early 70s dream pop sound.
Yeah,
these guys are from Long Island. And I'll just show Paul here a picture on my phone of the album cover. You said you've heard of the band. Look this album up.
Barnaby by
Actually, that Antique Mall's got it. I remember that cover. So
what's the name of the record?
Paul, next time you're there, pick it up and give it a spin, because I really think you're going to enjoy it.
What's the name of the record?
It's called Room to Grow by Barnaby By.
Yeah.
I might have that record.
Released in
It looks very familiar to me. Like, it looks like extra familiar. I mean, I might have it.
It was released in 73, and this is one of two records they put out. They put out a second one, and then we're just done after that, I guess. But there's basically not much to know about these guys.
It looks so familiar, my God.
Anyway, sorry about the little glitch gang. I'll tell you that
I've
right
heard of
now.
them before.
Yeah, what happened? Was it just your internet went out?
I don't know. My internet's fine. I think it was just that sometimes, I've been on this thing almost all day, and I had to turn it on, turn it off, turn it on,
reset
and
it.
Of course, it wants to do updates when I least expect it. That's why it took me a little longer. I'm like, you son of a bitch. But I heard a cop car whiz past, so for 2 seconds I kept sitting there going, maybe they hit a line, but no. So anyways,
hey, Paul, you know what I meant to ask you? Did you watch WrestleMania?
Yes.
What did you think? I had to, I've been meaning to ask you. Like,
I can't stand
Cena.
I can't stand John Cena, but I predicted it. You can ask any of my friends that I knew it was coming.
We knew it. Yeah,
I'm glad that the Viper, the Apex Predator, gave him an RKO'd what he deserved.
Yeah,
everyone can see him now.
But he said that beforehand. He said that. He goes, "I'm coming for that belt if you win."
Mm-hmm.
So John is acting like he's going to take that belt home if he doesn't lose the belt beforehand.
So here's the prediction. Now, I knew that Cody was going to drop it, okay?
Yeah.
But here's my prediction. Either the Apex Predator is going to get him at Backlash or SummerSlam. It's going to be one or the other. He may just hang on to it till SummerSlam, but he's going to lose it in the next two pay-per-views. That's my prediction.
He has to wrestle sometime, because he was saying last night, he's like, 28 appearances. Nobody says I have to wrestle. I just got to talk and do this. So, right.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting tired of these entitled wrestlers. I guess they're making the big money contracts. They barely have to make an appearance. John's one of them. Roman Reigns is one of them. The Rock is one of them. I
you
mean,
know
if
what the
you're making,
problem is? You know what the problem is that I've been hearing? Literally, they said that now that WrestleMania is 2 days for an event, they're going to do the same thing with SummerSlam. And people
Yeah.
are saying enough's enough because you know what happens? Usually when you have a pay-per-view, it would be 12, 14 matches on one show, and it would be decisive victories. Now when you split it up, you got maybe 6 matches, 7 matches, and they're an hour long each. And they're
Right.
this tug. Every match now is this fake out, like who's pinning who, back and forth, like ping pong match. Instead of usually it would be just an hour long match and it would be finally you'd get to that. Where it is the
well,
whole match
maybe
is now
so
basic.
down below, maybe so, but we still like it anyway.
Okay.
We love jazz records, and we let you go.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd correlate wrestling to jazz records.
I know.
Well, I did in this case.
Hey, what did you think of Living Color? That's music. They were
That
on there.
Living Color did play Cult of Personality
They
for
were
CM
excellent.
Punk.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
excellent.
love Living Color.
So do I. They were.
I need
And
to
the
get
guy
their-
still got his voice. His voice is
Yeah.
still good. Corey was great.
I need to get, yeah, Corey. Corey did a solo tour at one point or another, and he actually
Right.
came out here, and I was so pissed off I didn't get to see him.
I saw him.
But I'm trying to think how many albums Living Color's got, like 4 or 5. I should grab. I
Like
have
5.
the first one. I have the first
Yeah.
one with Cult
I have it
on
on
it, but the
CD.
rest of them I need to
Vivid.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they? Yeah.
but
I bought that when it first came out. Everybody loved that. I mean, there
mean-
wasn't a person I knew that didn't like that.
when I heard that on the radio the first time with that, I'm going,
No,
what the
yeah.
hell is that? And I'm like, I love this shit. I said, this is great.
Yep.
And I,
And
and then, yeah.
The fact that find out that they were a black band, that
Oh,
really took the cake because they didn't sound. It
Nice.
sounded like every other metal, and they didn't try to, like, you know what I mean? Like, they really tried to be as legitimate metal band as anybody else, and that's what we loved about them.
And they
Yeah.
did.
Some people will try to change and put a lot of like either their ethnicity or their other things into it, and it changes the whole sound of it. Like, especially say you have a Latin band and it becomes a Latin rock band, and it still has like Latin qualities instead of being just a straight up legitimate rock band. You know what I mean?
You mean like
there's-
Santana?
Santana.
Yeah, well, Santana did both because Santana did do rock.
True, but
Without,
I mean
like,
the early
having, like,
Santana.
Oh yeah, that was very
Yeah,
Latin
the first
flavor.
3
definitely.
albums. Oh, you betcha.
And you could say the same thing with someone from down south, and they have like a southerny thing. They put a southerny twang into the heaviness, like Shooter Jennings or something. You know what I mean?
With
And it makes it.
Santana, I think it's pretty cool that like especially like in his later stuff, basically he would take these songs that he, with his guitar playing, and then he'd bring in mainstream artists around that time, like the late
Oh, yeah.
90s, early 2000s. Like
That was smart.
he brought in Rob Thomas to help him on Smooth.
Yeah,
That's a great
Yeah.
song.
Smooth.
phenomenal song. That's an excellent song. I saw Santana in 1986, and at the end of the show, Jeff Beck happened to be hanging out. Brought Jeff Beck out, and then also what's his name? A bass player, Lenny White. So it was Lenny White, Jeff Beck, and Santana. It was like really, really incredible.
I got one for you guys. It just wasn't. The news was leaked. The news wasn't even supposed to. They weren't even supposed to bring the news out yet. But we're gonna get a nice surprise, July 25th.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the revenge of Alice Cooper.
Oh,
That new album with the Alice Cooper group. Yes, it's
wow.
and they had some guitar parts that they found of Glenn's, the only one
That's
that's not
killer.
alive anymore. So they're
Right.
gonna pull wraparounds, and I'm going, oh, this could be fun. It's
I
gonna
don't
be
understand why
14
more
tracks.
bands. Now the AI is available and the things at their disposal to do all this stuff. I don't understand why more people aren't finishing off stuff in the vaults, and it's so easier now, and people want to hear it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
rooting-
Like, we would love to hear it.
I mean,
I'm
about
rooting
the
for this
biggest
record.
example I can think of what Mel is describing, where people are actually taking advantage of this this evolution of technology with the AI, is Peter Jackson, for example, using AI technology
Yeah.
to professionally separate John's vocal off of the rest of the demo,
Right.
because
Oh, yeah.
basically in doing so, that fixed the issue as to why they never put.
I can't
that
wait
out
to hear
during the
"Free as a Bird."
anthology
I
days.
cannot wait to hear "Free as a Bird" done right.
Oh,
That is going to be exciting to me. And Real Love, like those two
Yeah.
songs.
I
Dying
think.
to hear
Well,
them
I
done
think
the way.
Real Love. Yeah, Free as a Bird for sure, because John's vocal
Yeah.
on the anthology track of that
It's
is very
bad.
buried sounding. It sounds horrible in my opinion, but I think Real Love is just perfect as it is. I don't
Yeah,
think there-
I mean,
there-
I didn't mind Real Love as much as Free as a Bird, but they know that they can and they're going to. That is exciting. Oh my god! I'm
Apparently
real
they're doing
excited.
apparently they're doing another anthology, which I'm like, what is there left to do?
Well, here's what I heard. It's a 10 LP box set. Now here's the thing, right? So the volume 1, 2, and 3 came out triple albums on each. So that's 9. This
Right.
leaves another record of mystery bonus stuff. And of course, another excuse they're saying to slap Now and Then, but they shouldn't do it that way. They should slap it on volume 3 where it was properly supposed
Where
to
it
be
was
home.
supposed to be, right?
And
That's what
leave
we all
this
think.
extra record with all kinds of whatever fun stuff there is.
Honestly,
Here's a
my
fun
hope-
idea. Here's a fun idea. With the fourth one, Paul and Ringo join forces.
Grow old
They
with
put
me,
their
yeah.
parts on something. They decide. They go through the vault and be like, okay, we could, just like they did with like Now and Then, or like, okay, if there's anything else.
Yeah,
left
but they
over
had
that
a fourth song. They had "Grow Old with Me," and Ringo had already
Right.
recorded it. And Day
Right.
Limbs did that version, which I thought was the best version.
No,
So-
Mel, there was I feel like there was another one that George was at. It was a George composition that he was working on around the time of
Well, that
the
would be cool,
anthology
too.
project that he didn't complete.
But then they wouldn't have John for that. You know what I mean? It would be like the Threedles.
Oh, they might be able to strap some type of vocal. Don't,
they could.
don't
They might be
excise
able to
that
get-
out.
They might be able to get like an like that kind of stuff. Unless they fashion something he never put on recording and add that in there.
Okay. Since you seem to really like this stuff, let me throw at you. There's already a rumor. Okay, we already know about the Beatle part, but here's the rumor of my other favorite band. Oh yes, the Monkees. There is rumor already going around that they managed to find several. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, they've been doing like a big vault clean. Okay, a big vault clean, and I mean now this is in preliminary talks. This is not official. Okay, but they want to have it. If they're going to do this, they want to have it done by the summer of 26. Okay, so they got about a year, unless they've already maybe started on some of this. All right. So here's the thing: they found it's either 2 or 3 Davy Jones tracks. Okay, and we're not talking the Love and the other one that they already did on Good Times. This is something else. All right. So you've got
Undiscovered before.
Yes, and but this is the weird part, right? So there's Mike went off and he produced and he played guitar on possibly anywhere from 12 to 15 unheard tracks as well. And there's also a Peter song as well called Till Then. So they're saying that if they went off, and since Mickey's still alive and he's in good form for singing, that they maybe could go off like the Till Then part. They would take one part because they tried doing it again, I guess, for Good Times, and that didn't get finished. So there's like one version will be cobbled with the other one. So you've got the opening guitar.
If Mickey would even want to do it, though, you know what I mean?
I bet you he would.
He's last man standing, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's really odd to be able to be making all these decisions when all your other band members aren't there to say no to you no more. So now, like, you know what I mean? It's like it is a really weird kind of situation.
It is a weird kind of situation. And supposedly there was at least one unreleased track recorded for Justice, the mid-90s album that never came out. So there could be 12 to 15 tracks of new old material for the 60th anniversary, and I am
That's
just
awesome.
like, please. And they say that if it turns out they don't play it like that, what they might do instead is your Missing Link Volume 4. So you finally might get, it's going to be one or the other,
Right.
by next year. And I am just like, please, 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 please. So, and I mean, we'll know by then that after that
Yeah.
is then vault scraping the bottom of the barrel after that LP. But
I'll
I just
tell
want
you.
one more.
I'll tell you what, I can relate very, very much to all that in my own personal life because exactly, Ober, exactly. I see what you're saying, definitely, because I'm doing some of the same stuff, and it's incredible what I'm discovering. What you can do as a musician now with this AI tool, it's
Gentle
like
Giants and a Glass House may
unbelievable.
finally get its remix.
But anyway, unbelievably, a guitar player friend of mine found a tape of me and my brothers and him from 1995. This was 30 years ago. And
Wow.
I didn't even remember the song. We went in the studio and actually recorded 3 songs. And we did it, and we never played the songs again. And it was like, because the band broke up and we just moved on. So he found this tape after 30 years. Me and my brothers
Jeez.
never heard the song. So literally, we finally got a copy of it now. Now we're going the process of remastering it, and we're going to put it out there because it's an authentic 90s song that was written then. And I'm really proud of it. As I heard it, I'm like, why did we not continue playing this song? You know, it was like that kind of thought when I heard it. I just couldn't believe it. And it's funny, this year is also the 40th anniversary of me ever playing a show live in front of people. So
Wow.
on June 14th, I'm going to
cool.
be getting together with the original other guys, and we might do something. 40th anniversary of our first live
You've been an
performance.
active musician since
Nice, Mello.
1985.
That is an accomplishment.
You should
Yeah.
film it. You
Oh
should
yeah, we
film it.
are, and not only that, we're having a reunion of that sorts where after we're done, we're going to do a documentary, 1985 to 2025.
Nice.
And it's going to be, and the name of the band was Silent Night. And I'm just so proud that everyone's still alive. And we did our 30th anniversary. We have all that footage. And then we did one on the 33rd anniversary because they just happened to be in the state because they all moved away. So everyone's coming back for this 40th. And it's really a big deal for us anyway. You know, as a high school band, not many other bands could say that in the world.
True.
Yeah.
You know, that even professional bands, when they come to 40 years, you know,
This
I'm
is
just
true.
really, really humbled by it.
I want to touch back more upon the Day Limbs thing with Mello. You've proven that you're fascinated with his treatment of Smile, but
Yes.
you pay attention to anything else on his channel? I mean,
I have.
I'm quite fascinated with it with what he did with Witch Stand because it sounds like I'm back in 1963 Beach Boys.
Yes. He
That
seems to be
that song's not completely an AI creation from what I was reading. I think that
right.
as far as I can tell, the backing track is actually authentic.
Right. And then, you know what, like he has his own website, and there is where you can see a lot of like he teaches about his whole concepts of things, why he does what he does.
I wish they still when he came out with the "It Don't Come Easy" AI Beatles thing, where you know Ringo and George's parts are actually authentic because I'm assuming he took George's parts from that demo.
Right. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's building on top of it, adding the parts. Dude, like you said, he did for the Grow Old Me. He did the Paul part, but it was all over the original John demo that he added all these strings, like a Phil Spector. I mean, it is that level of production that is so unreal. And that was before, like right now is the AI craze where everybody's production levels are going to go up because the AI has become more mainstream. He was doing it 5 years ago, 10 years ago when it was like the niche of AI, like just starting out to get those kind of sounds, which is more fascinating.
I just wish that like stuff like that, the "It Don't Come Easy" thing, and what he did with the Beach Boys AI Surf City. I wish those were still uploaded on YouTube.
Yeah,
I wish those were uploaded on
down.
YouTube because I can't hear those anymore. They got taken down.
If you go Google it. There were other sites, like he had an Instagram site that he was posting stuff, and he has also a bulletin board where he allowed it to be downloaded, and that's how I got a copy of Grow Old With Me, which I still listen to that one. I absolutely love that version.
So how I
Systematics
find
asking.
stuff?
It's good to see you.
You near the fires?
Yeah, you know what? We do get every year we get fired,
Okay.
but I'm not near the particular one that's happening. Just like within the last day or so, there was a pretty big one. We get him.
He's got a website?
Oh yeah, his website's awesome. Go look it up, Day Limbs. If you just
Day
Google
Limbs?
it, yeah, it's DAELIMS. It's 2 words: DAE space LIMS. Day Limbs, and I found the girl with me. I recommend if you look it up, you're going to be blown away.
What's
It
this?
sounds so authentic to Paul. It really does.
There's something on the Internet Archive. Let's see what that is.
That too, yeah. If you find like something, put the link in the private chat. Maybe Paul will play it or whatever, because I think that's something you wouldn't get flagged for.
Well,
It's an
here's the
AI
thing, though. I've
mix.
got to, yeah, unfortunately here, I'm going to have to wind this up because I got to
I
get up
gotcha.
early.
Oh.
So,
Right.
in fact, that's what I was just getting ready. And I mean, we've got, geez, we almost made it 2 hours. We did.
That's
and,
awesome. Thank you for having me on,
well-
Paul. I know you made that statement about saying you were, but figure I would take a chance, and I really appreciate
Well,
it.
Not
I'm-
finding his website.
Nothing but love for you guys, man. Nothing
I'm-
but love for you.
Well,
Yeah,
like
me
I
too.
said, it's all good one way or another, gang. Everybody's pointing everywhere. I don't know.
That's
Right.
All right. Well, anyways, I want everybody to have, a great night. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, always powered by coffee each and every time. I want to thank my guests, Dave and Mason and Mello here. And like I said, please thumbs up. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies to subscribe to Psycho Splatters. Very close to 1250. Very close. To me, that's a minor milestone. Almost at show 900, ladies and gentlemen. We got 7 more to go.
Incredible.
So that and what I mean, we've spit out a lot of important facts, but this is the most important one. Psycho Splatters is a Love Peace production.